Oh, sorry, you caught me dabbing. I love dabbing during that song. I don't know why. It just gets me going. So anyway, I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. But hey, welcome everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday. Live with Clipa. Very excited to have our next guest on. I'm always excited about our guests, but even more so with this guy. He's a very upstanding individual. Excited to have him on the program. Please help me welcome Travis from Tuff Clips. They're clapping. Everybody's like, woo!
Way in the back too.
Yay! There he is.
In the back. Yeah. Thank you for that introduction, Matt.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. How are things going? How are things on your end? Things good?
Yeah. Tuff Clips wise, we've got most of our containers in at this point. Still waiting on a couple. Obviously, everything that's going on in the world right now, especially in the world of tariffs and shipping. It's been a little bit of a nightmare, but we're trying to strive through, persevere, but no complaints otherwise.
All right, well, let's talk about Tuff Clips first of all. For somebody that's coming in here, like Tuff Clips, what is that? Is that a hair clip? Is it what are we talking here? Tell us what Tuff Clips is and how it's evolved over the last 5 seasons. We're going to call it seasons, but it's definitely evolved. You came out with one initial clip, but I'm going to let you talk about that. So tell us about Tuff Clip and the history and how this came about.
Okay, so about 12 years ago, Russell Williams, who's the parent company, we were installing lights, just a normal everyday installer. And there was only kind of crab claw style, which everyone's well aware of, clips on the market. Yeah. And we kept getting callbacks and there was clips left behind. And obviously up here in Minnesota, there's, snow on the ground at takedowns. So looking for clips in the snow and having people call back in the spring and getting them blocked up in tile systems, we're like, there's got to be a better way. Mm-hmm. So we started designing something and we worked with a company close to us here in Minnesota, a CAD company. We came up with just an enclosed style clip and kind of ran with it. Ordered a bunch from China, and then our distributor at the time was like, we were still buying lights from them before we started direct importing. They're like, hey, you guys haven't bought clips in a while. We're like, yeah, because we came up with this clip, and showed it to them and they were like, that's crazy. Do you mind if we sold it? And that's where literally Tuff Clips began. So from there, it just started branching out to more distributors. And then we started bringing on more lines of clips, and now we're here.
Yeah. And you guys have, it's not just the Tuff Clip. You've got to talk about the other clips that you guys have developed and built over the years that are a Tuff Clip brand or Russell Williams brand.
So yeah, it started off with the original clip. The original clip is just an enclosed style clip, good for gutters. That was basically the intended use of the clip. So worked good on gutters. And then we came out with the flex clip, which was able to flex over the bulb. So you didn't have to unscrew all of your bulbs at the time of the install. Mm-hmm. From there, we went to the wedge clip, which was kind of a partnering between the original clip, the wedge clip, and a shingle tab. So it was kind of our best all-in-one clip. Like you could use it on shingles, rakes, tiles, gutters, and it kind of like a jack of all trades clip. And then from there, we have a couple of other clips. Maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit when we talk about some new products. But yeah, that's kind of the big three.
Yeah, but really, the question everybody's on their mind, everybody wants to know, if you freeze it in a block of ice and then you hammer it with a hammer, is it going to last? That's what's important with these clips.
So not only if you freeze it, but if you actually take it and put it in a dry ice bath and bring it down to whatever dry ice is, and then hit it with a hammer, it will still and you can still hang it up. Yeah. We've had so we run quite a few crews up here, and we've had some let's just call it mistakes happen where people don't latch their tailgates open. We've had 18 wheelers run over these clips, and we just pick them up off the ground and put them back on the light line.
I love that. Take that, competitors.
Yeah, there you go. How about that?
Yeah, there was that whole period of oh, can you freeze? Does it last when it gets? It was crazy. So the thing I love about your clip is this came from a necessity in your installs. You guys are installers. I think you guys do 30, 40, 50 houses a year or something like that. What's the real number on that?
It's like 60 houses. Yeah.
No, what's the real number?
We did, I think, about 4,000 installs last year.
I think you were breaking up right there. I thought I heard you say 4,000.
Yeah, we did 4,000 across 3 locations.
That is insane. That is crazy. That is awesome. And your operation is amazing. I'm sure people can come by and visit if they're in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
They make it
100%.
out there. I'm sure you guys will host them, maybe feed them, whatever the cool thing in Minneapolis is. I don't know what it is, but go by the operation. You definitely want to check it out because they have it dialed in over there at Tuff Clips. And you do really have the operation nailed down. So kudos to you guys are doing amazing work over there. So not just not just a Tuff Clip company or a clip company, you guys are installers as well. Talk about that and talk about the weather a little bit and overcoming those challenges, because there's a lot of people out there that are asking, oh man, how do you guys do it in cold weather and that type of stuff. Can you maybe discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's as you know, I mean, it's a completely different business from warehousing and wholesaling products. The installation side is, as a service-based industry, it's a lot different when you're dealing with multiple customers at once and you're going out on location. Like the job isn't done here at the warehouse, right?
Yeah.
So like in the morning when all the guys get here, we make sure that all of their bins are set out in the morning. So they're not going back into our warehouse and they're getting bins and they're getting lighting materials. We make sure that all that's done the night before. So like the logistics of the install business is just completely different than wholesaling. Like wholesaling, someone calls, you fiddle with a number. You're like, I want this much. Will you sell it to me for this? And it's like, job's done. It's like, well, once we put up the job, the logistics and the efficiencies of putting up the job, then we have to maintain it and then we have to take it down. So like, and the efficiencies of the installation business are way different than the warehousing and wholesaling. So it's two completely different businesses. I can't tell you which one I like better. Obviously it's a little easier on the warehousing, but the service side is that residual every single year. You keep your customers happy and they're just going to keep coming back. So they're two different businesses, but they work pretty well for us in uniform.
Yeah, and we battle the same challenges. We're out in the field, we're doing installs. Sometimes we have to throw a long sleeve shirt on because it's getting a little bit chilly. Talk about that. Talk about the cold and how do we? I mean, I know how I deal with it. We throw a long sleeve on.
Right.
Down to 65 and we're like, whoa, this is crazy. People are freaking out in California, like,
well, on the flip side of things, we're not burning alive when we're on top of roofs here. So it's a give and take, right? So we actually, funny as it may be, we start our installs at the last week in August. So we get a little bit of that weather here. So end of August is typically pretty dry, pretty warm, but then, you're right. Going into November and December, you can have some crazy days there where it's 10, 15 below. I mean, it's not too often that it's at, but you can get 8 to 10 inches of snow too. So battling the weather, most of the time you just have to keep your employees, gloves, hats, boots are a must. We provide all of those. Safety, paramount. Obviously, we don't want anyone slipping off roofs. Sure. If there's tons of snow on the roofs, we take our lifts out, use our lifts. We always tell employees, like, please do not do anything that you don't feel comfortable doing. And that's the biggest thing is that, like, I feel like a lot of these workplace injuries happen when people go outside their comfort zones versus like, hey, if you're going to put a ladder up on the front of this house, make sure that you can safely and securely do whatever you need to do on this ladder. If you're not sure, have someone come over, hold the ladder, like whatever you need. Like, it's just lights. Like we can always come back out with the lift. It's one of those things. So the weather, it's a problem at times, but I think we overcome it. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, I can't imagine what it's like living in Phoenix when it's 120 degrees outside, but people are like, oh, it's dry heat. Well, up here, it's like, well, just put a jacket on.
Yeah, I love that. So, talk about we're on the install side of things. You guys are still taken down in March and April, right? You got to wait for things to thaw out, to frost.
It depends. So yearly, these past 2 years have been like a blessing. So we had, I think, record low amounts of snow last year. So I think we had all of our jobs taken down by the end of February. So last year was an anomaly. The 2 years before that, so 3 years ago, we had record amounts of snow. So we had like 80 inches of snow accumulation throughout the year. And then most of the time, it's just going to be your cords, your ground cords, all the other stuff. Some gutters get frozen in, especially houses that have like northern exposures where they don't get much snow. But other than that, I mean, it's not too crazy. It's mainly the ground cords, northern exposure, roof lines. But other than that, everything kind of like, if it gets 32 degrees during the day and it freezes overnight, normally that water kind of rushes out of the gutter. So it's Yeah, it's a little different. And sometimes when it runs into like our window cleaning business, it gets a little bit annoying because like you're taking down lights still and you don't, obviously you're not making any money from still gathering those cords and those lights off of houses when you could be cleaning windows. So there's a little bit of give and take there, but I wouldn't say for the most part, like, it's that big of an issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys have it dialed in, as I mentioned, and you guys are doing well. So that's amazing. Kudos to you guys, David. I should be talking in third person. If he was on here, I'd be third person. I don't know how it all started, but I think, it was a dialogue we were talking, and he started talking third person. I was like, whoa, okay, I'm going to talk in third person.
Yeah.
Matt loves that, man. Matt loves what you guys are doing over there at Tuff Clips.
It's great stuff.
He gets a little chuckle out of it. So say hi to him, by the way. I don't know if he's sitting behind listening.
No. I don't know what he's got going on today. He's taken a lot of, shall we say, leisure time this year as things are growing. He's kind of taking a step back. And but I mean, the man deserves it. He worked,
That's right.
80 to 90 hours a week for the past 15 years. So we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
Good for him. Hear that, ladies? They're like, yeah, you don't work that much, Matt. You're not getting that stuff. Very cool. So tell us at Clipicon, you guys are there. You're a sponsor. You have a booth and all that stuff. People come by. You got any freebies, any giveaways, anything that they can expect? Anything new coming down the line?
You asking about our R&D? You want to see that top secret stuff? I don't know if you guys got the security clearance for that.
I'd rather you share that at Clipicon so people will be like, "Oh, I'm going now. I gotta go."
Okay. Well, we'll save that. I had a couple of things lined up here, but no, yeah, we do have a couple of clips coming down the pipe that you'll enjoy this one. So we've been working tirelessly on figuring out the best clip for tile roofs, whether it be barrel tile, French tile. We don't have that much of it up here, so it's been
tile.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for us because like it's very like kind of older spec homes, custom spec homes that have it up here because we just don't have a use for it because we don't have that crazy, sun exposure that you guys have. So we have been working on a Spanish tile and it's going pretty well. We're going back and forth on sizing. We might offer it in 2 different sizing just because tile is just, there's, weeping front tiles and there's just so many different styles that you can never,
styles. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's, you can never like create a be all end all. And then the other one that we also are working on is a magnetic clip. So
nice. Okay, cool.
Those are the 2 big ones. We'll obviously have them at Clipicon at our booth. We'd love anyone to stop by. We'll have samples. So you're more than welcome to stop by, take some samples. We will be, I think, do you have us doing any kind of, David kind of just throws all this at me. So I don't know if we're talking on anything or.
David doesn't like talking. So
why do you think I'm here right now?
You're always welcome to talk at any of our events. We always offer it up. I don't know. There'll be something for you guys if you want to introduce it.
Yeah, maybe just something that we could kind of like deliver kind of if anyone doesn't stop by our booth, we can kind of give everyone what we're working on. Outside of clips, we are working on a couple of different holiday lighting tools, I guess you would say.
Okay.
Which are coming down the pipeline, which we're pretty excited about. I don't know if they're going to be ready for Clipicon. Maybe we can share the idea and some sketches that we have going.
Cool.
We're pretty excited about those too.
Are these AI robots that will actually hang the lights for you?
That's going to be at next year's Clipicon.
Okay.
This one is just going to be no. We haven't gotten that far yet. I don't know if David's willing to dump that much into R&D yet. I keep pushing, but maybe we'll get there one day.
Okay. All right. Well, now we're going to adventure into the personal stuff. We're going to get a little personal, and this is more business too as well. So what are you doing, Travis, in 2025 to level up yourself on a personal standpoint?
Level up myself on so this is outside of work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Drinking less coffee, or you gym, or I don't want to throw ideas in your head, but what are you doing to level up in 2025? You know what? I made this decision. I'm going to do this year to level up my game.
So I haven't had much time to myself. I've got a 14-month-old baby girl at home. She's been kind of taking all of my extra attention.
Love it.
It's been really fun. It's been probably my favorite thing that's ever happened to me. It is my favorite thing that's ever happened to me. I've just been trying to spend as much time with her as I can. We do everything together, me, my wife, and my baby. I mean, we've basically exposed her to everything. We've been to Vikings games. We take her out on the boat. She slept through fireworks on 4th of July. So all of my extra energy goes that way. But I guess beyond that, like, just try to have a better attitude about everything, I guess. Like, there's obviously like ups and downs throughout life. And I think that this first 14 months of fatherhood has shown that to me a lot, that there are things that you just aren't going to want to do, but have to get done. So like everything beyond that has been I don't want to go do this at work is a lot better than I don't want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to a screaming baby. You know what I mean? So it's kind of all relative. It's like everything's a little bit easier besides like the hardships that come with parenthood. Sure. So everything just seems a little easier. So I guess having a better attitude at work would be my one thing that I've been working on.
I love it. And I'll give you a piece of advice. Hold on to every single moment you can, because before you know it, you're going to be walking her down the aisle and you're going to be holding her child, your grandbaby, at some point. And that's where I'm at. I mean,
it's so far in the future. Don't you? You got one. I thought I just saw on Facebook. You're letting go one going off to college or something like that.
I've got one going off to college. I got one just came back from college. I got one that just got married. It's been a whirlwind, but it's beautiful stuff. My grandson is almost 2. Very excited. So next month he'll be turning 2. And it's just like literally you blink and you're there. So just hold on to every single moment you can. It sounds like you are. You're already doing that. You're in your
wife. I try.
But when you drift, bring yourself back, because just know that it's not going to last forever, and you want to really soak in this moment. So that's my advice to you.
I appreciate it.
Been through it and gone through it, but I'm a lot older than you. So, all right, moving on. So, level up in 2025. Appreciate that. Let's talk about business. What are you guys doing? It sounds like you've already talked about that. You've got some new stuff coming this way. So maybe you don't need to answer that. Maybe it's just, hey, Matt, everything I just talked about.
Business wise, I mean, just kind of refocusing on the products that we have, maybe critiquing them, refining them a little bit, make sure that, we stay ahead of competition, because, we do know that there's cheaper clips out there, but we really heavily rely on we're the best quality clip. Like, you're not going to find something better. So leaning on that aspect of our business. Beyond that, I guess, just being transparent with our customers, and not necessarily in our clip, but in our Christmas light installation business. Like, I've found really being transparent with our clients. So like, whether it be for window cleaning estimates or holiday lighting, a lot of times I'll get to someone's house and I'll be like, hey, it's $550 to clean your windows, or it's $1,200 for your holiday lights. And they're like, well, how did you get here? And it's like, well, when you start breaking it down for them, then they like seeing the numbers. Like they kind of like seeing how the sausage is made, right? They don't just want like how much is this person going to pay price, because we see that a lot in Minnesota. So Minnesota is like, it's a very, very diverse city or state. And like that goes across, and diverse, I mean, income diverse. So like, we've got people who are very low, and much like California, but like, when on Lake Minnetonka, which is like the premier real estate in the Minneapolis metro, like you could have anywhere from like, $1 million house to a $55 million house. And like, it's pretty significant throughout there. And then you've got your, your tract homes and your nationwide builders who are a little bit outside the lake, but people really appreciate the transparency of being like, hey, we charge $6 a foot. You've got X amount of feet. Like, this is how much it's going to be. And it's like, that's where it comes from.
So that city you just mentioned, that's where you live. That's the community you live
in. No. Maybe one day, if my wife and I get enough equity in our house and we save every penny that we have, maybe we'll be lucky enough to live out there.
David, pay him more. You got to pay more.
He pays me plenty.
Yeah. Well, cool. If you want to join us at ClipaCon 2025, come out August 19th, 20th. You do not want to miss this one. We have a great lineup, great speaker lineup, a lot of good vendors coming our way. It's at the Gaylord Opryland, Nashville, Tennessee. Beautiful place. Come out and visit us there. I want to thank all of our sponsors. Without them, this would not be possible. Thank you to Mr. Pipeline, Action Lighting, S4 Lights, Tuff Clips, Russell Williams, S4 Lights. I already said them. Tensils, Here I Am, Guardian Staffing, Holiday Home Concepts, Lightorama, Big Star Lights, St. Nick's, Holiday Lighting, Holiday Dynamics, Landscape Lighting Secrets, Hire Lead Chill. Gosh, we have a lot of people joining us. I love this. Secret Weapons. So these are all companies that are going to be out there that can help you further your business. So come out, visit, support. We'd love to see you out there. The networking side of ClipaCon is just outstanding. It's amazing. But our speaker lineup, you're going to come out there, you're going to learn something. And it's going to be a takeaway that you go and run and instill in your business. And that's going to catapult you to the next level. That's going to help you level up in 25, 26, 27, and so on and so forth, and moving forward. So Travis, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking one for the team and coming in to do the interview. Maybe someday I'll get David on here to join us, but we'll see. He's behind the scenes drinking his coffee, feet kicked up somewhere. That's what I envision, and I hope he is. He's much deserved. He's done a great job, and you guys are awesome, and you're amazing. You've done great. You've supported Clip over the years. We appreciate you guys, and I thank you very much for that.
Absolutely, Matt. We'll see you in less than 40 days, huh?
All right. We'll see you at ClipaCon.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you.